What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday, the other playoff game that we saw was Game 6 between the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. I believe Denver is the fourth seed, the Clippers the fifth seed. And for the first time since, I think, the beginning of March, the Clippers lost two consecutive games after having a 2-1 lead in this best of seven series. And it looked like, once again, the Clippers were going to blow a series. And once again, even though James Harden had been playing relatively well, at times even spectacular, this season and into the early postseason, it looked like the James Harden, aka Mongol Slade curse, was going to happen again. But Tyronn Lue and the Los Angeles Clippers had other plans, and they gritted out a 111-105 victory over the Denver Nuggets at Denver, forcing a Game 7. No, excuse me, at LA, and forcing a Game 7 at Denver. And when you look at the recent trend with the Denver Nuggets, they are vulnerable to losing at home. They did it numerous times against the Timberwolves. Remember that game last year at Denver where they got blown out? They only scored like 80 points against the Timberwolves. I think, if I remember correctly, I think, what was it, the seventh game of that series? I'm kind of having a poor memory of that series, but something correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that series go 7 or 6 games? I think it went 7 games. And I think Denver lost at home. I think Rudy Gobert hit some turnaround 20-footer or something. Anyway, whatever the case may be, Denver, since they won the championship, have had a couple of instances where they have lost potential closeout games. And this is another situation where that occurred. Now, to me, the most impactful players for the Clippers were James Harden, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, a great comeback performance after a couple of bad Mongol Slade games. Kawhi Leonard, 27 points, 11 of 22 shooting. Only 2 of 8 from three-point range, however, but he was 3 or 4 at the line. More importantly, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Ivan Zubac, a pedestrian, 10 points and 6 rebounds. Norman Powell, huge for the Clips, 24 points, 9 of 15 from the floor, 2 steals. We can't say that Nikola Jokic didn't have any help. That's one of the prevailing stupid narratives that we've heard from some of these silly-ass Jokic fans. That's not a knock on Jokic. It's just a knock on some of those extreme stupid fans that he has. Aaron Gordon, 19 points and 5 rebounds. Jamal Murray, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Carl Braun, 14 points. I think his name's Carl Braun, right? 14 points. Russell Westbrook, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range. I think what was key in this game was not just the great performances by Harden and by James Harden and Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell, but they did a great job of holding Nikola Jokic in check in the second half of this game. I believe Nikola Jokic had 20 points in the first half, and they held him to 5 points in the second half. Now, I don't want to blame Jokic per se. I put it like this. I want to credit the Clippers defense more so than blame Jokic, though as the star, you kind of got to say, well, he still should step up. Because, look, I remember so many different times when Giannis only had 19 or 20, people would say, oh, he still got to get it done. So I guess you could say that. I guess you could still say Jokic got to get it done somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? But credit the Clippers defense for coming up big. Matter of fact, Jokic finished with 25 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, that's good numbers, but not a dominating performance. So now this series is tied at 3-all. Game 7 will be at Denver, I believe. And, I don't know who's going to win this series. I don't. Because I fully expected the Clippers to lose this game. I thought the Clippers were going to lose this game, and they didn't. So it's like the Clippers, sometimes you just don't know exactly what you're going to get. Though, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. The Clippers apparently are a better team without Paul George. We've been saying it's James Harden for so long, but man, it's Paul George. It was Paul George. Because this Clippers team is rather resurgent. And I'm gonna tell you something about James Harden. I'll give you this. I've always been kind of down on James Harden, but the one thing that he will do is get to that open man. He still can break down the defense and find that most dangerous offensive weapon on the floor, using the perimeter. So his ability to drive and kick it out to and get guys in position to score, setting up the offense, is still dangerous. So even when he's having a bad shooting night, as long as he can cut down on those turnovers, because that's the killer for James. So I know people get on Russell Westbrook for it, and sometimes Trae Young, but James Harden has a 1.9 to 1 career assist to turn ratio, much worse than Russell Westbrook. If he can cut down turnovers, James Harden can affect the game even when he's not scoring. So, I know he's not a great defender, but this year I think he's been pretty adequate. So anyway, the pressure's on the pressure's on the Nuggets now. The pressure's on the Nuggets, and the pressure's on Nikola Jokic to come out and have an MVP caliber performance. The Clippers, to me, really don't have that much pressure on them because nobody's really expecting them to win. They're hoping that they'll win, Clippers fans, but I don't think people are expecting the Clippers to leave Denver with a victory. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.